we would like to explain this story. Hope you enjoyed it. First, we would like to start with a short summary for you to fully understand the story.
This story starts when Mr. Atherson is sitting in front of this door, the strange door, and the door calls the attention of Mr. Atherson because it was never opened by anyone. So because of that, he always stayed there to wait for someone to appear and then enter to the house.
Then one friend told him a story that one night he saw a man who was Mr. Hyde, who was hitting a girl in the street. And the relative of this girl asked for justice for her, and he decided to give some money to that girl. And then,
this sum of money was the check of this money was in name of Mr. JEkyll, and Mr. Atherson started thinking how the relationship between Dr. JEkyll and Mr. Hyde. He thought that Dr. JEkyll was being blackmailed by Mr. Hyde.
So Mr. Atherson started to feel worried about Dr. JEkyll's safety. So he started to investigate until one night this Mr. Hyde kills her brutally, and his body resulted completely destroyed. So the entire London started to look for him, but then he disappeared, and Atherson thought that Dr. JEkyll was hiding him. No.
But he explained, Dr. Atherson, that he was not hiding him, that Mr. Hyde was far away from him and he was not going to appear again. But that was not the truth.
Dr. JEkyll made a kind of abuse in the use of the drugs because he wanted to on one side he was a respectable man, but on the other side he wanted to steal another kind of sensation, experience.
So he made an experiment with different drugs in order to transform himself into
Yes.
More than transform, he wanted to separate the good part and the evil part, and he made it. He created the only person on earth that was completely evil. That was Mr. Hyde. At the end of the story, he cannot transform himself back. He cannot transform again as Dr. JEkyll, and he's discovered, and then he commits suicide. And then when Atherson reads the letters, he understands the truth. The letters by Dr. JEkyll and by Lanyon, who was a friend of him, who saw the transformation. That was a little summary. Now we would like to move on to a literary analysis. For example, the text, who is a novella, considered a novella, which is shorter than a novel, is written in third-person singular. He talks about him, but then in the last two chapters it is written in first-person singular. As the chapter 7 is Lanyon's letter, and chapter 8, the last chapter, is Dr. JEkyll's letter. We can find several similes but also metaphors. Metaphors are the primary literary device that we can find. And this makes us think, all this story makes us think about two questions. What is the duality? And take this into consideration because this is probably going to be part of the test. What is the duality of good and evil? And Mr. Hyde was immoral or amoral? What do you think about it? Take those questions into consideration and think about them, because probably they are going to be part of the test. That's all for today. Thank you.